Hello everyone. So first of all, let us discuss the rule of the group. So any post on the group must be made within 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. From today onwards, this rule will be followed. All the group members, including me. Nobody is allowed to post any message in the group outside this time window. Means not before 7 a.m. and not after 7 p.m. So whatever homework assignment or queries that you need to post on the group, you must post within this time frame, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. only. All right. Next, some words of appreciation. Like many students have given correct answer to the homework problems. I really appreciate your efforts. However, Tarun has posted correct answer first. Before Tarun, one more student was posted, Shubham actually, if I am not mistaken. But those answers were not correct, unfortunately. Tarun was the first one who posted correct answers, and then Pratiksha posted correct answers. However, she is the first among the girls. And first person who posted answers but not correct, I don't remember his name. I will discuss later on in the next video. In this video, we will study this poem. It's a very wonderful poem written by Robert Frost. Robert Frost has written many wonderful poems. This is one of them. It's a very short poem. Its title is Dust of Snow. So let us read the poem first. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. So let us read it again. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. Now you can see there are a few words, especially the ending words of each line. There are some similarity in their colors. Here the crow and the snow both are in black. Why? Because these are the literary devices that we will discuss. It's a rhyming scheme. Here see there is rhyming in crow and snow, and rhyming in me and tree. Again there is rhyming in heart and part, and in mood and rude. So crow and snow, rhyming is there. Me and tree, rhyming is there. Again heart and part, rhyming is there. Mood and rude, R-U-E-D, rude, past form of rue, rhyming is there. Okay, so let us proceed further. So we have come to know about some new words like hemlock tree, shook, shake. So hemlock tree is a poisonous tree with small white flowers. Hemlock tree is a poisonous tree. Shook down on me. So shook is a past form of shake. Shake is a verb to make something move. Take a note of these words. Dust of snow. Dust is a noun which means very fine pieces, very fine particles. Here dust of snow. Snow means flakes of frozen water that fall from the sky in cold weather. Like rain, snow falls from the sky in cold water. So flakes, pieces of snow, very fine particles of snow, very fine particles of ice. Mood. Mood is a noun, the way we feel at a particular time, that is called mood. Saved is the past form of save. Save means to keep somebody or something safe from death, harm, loss, etc. Next, rude, R-U-E-D, rude is the third form of the verb rue, R-U-E. Or you can pronounce it as rude. It's same as rude, R-U-E-D, rude. And the third form of the verb rue, to regret, to feel bad about something that has happened. Now there is another word which is R-U-D-E, rude. That is an adjective, and that here the main word is rue, R-U-E, rue. And the third form, rue, R-U-E-D, rude, R-U-E-D, rude. These are the three forms of the verb rue. Rue, rude, rude. But R-U-D, rude is another word. Don't confuse this word with this, rude. This is the word that is used in the poem. That means, that is the third form of rue. That means to regret about something, to feel bad about something that has happened. And R-U-D-E, rude, this word is an adjective which means having or showing a lack of respect for other people and their feelings. Sometimes occasionally we say like how rude he is, how rude is his behavior. So that rude is this one, R-U-D, rude. Rude means it is an adjective that means having or showing lack of respect for other people and their feelings. And the word which is used in the poem, that is R-U-E-D, rude, that is the past form of rue, that rue or rue, that means to regret, to feel bad about something that has happened. Okay, now literary devices that I have already mentioned, that the rhyming scheme is A-B and C-D. Let us see once again. So here we have A and A here. So A-B. So first rhyming is there in the first sentence and in the third sentence. First line and third line. It's not sentence. Complete sentences are not. These are not complete sentences. So first line, we will say first line and third line rhyming is there, and in the second line and the fourth line rhyming is there. Again C-D. So in the fourth line rhyming is there, and in the seventh line, in the fifth line and seventh line rhyming is there, and in the sixth line and eighth line rhyming is there. Mood, rude. Alright, so these are the rhyming schemes that are used in this poem. Next we will talk about something which is known as enjambment. Enjambment nahi, it's enjambment. M is silent. Enjambment. This M is silent. This M is silent. Okay, M is silent. So enjambment, that means same sentence continues to the next line in a poem. Let us see. So in the poem you can see here that there is no punctuation in any line except in the last line. Here we have a full stop. Other than this place there is no punctuation anywhere, no comma, no full stop, no other punctuation marks. So that means this line is continued to the next line, This line is also continued to next, this line is continued to next, and so on. At the end we have a full stop. So it's a continuation of line here. So this literary device is known as enjambment. N-E-N J-A-M-B, enjab, M-E-N-T, enjambment. Okay. Enjambment. Next literary device that are used here, or those are used here, are assonance, alliteration, consonance. Assonance, alliteration, consonance. That we will discuss one by one. Assonance means a vowel sound is repeated in the closely connected words. A vowel sound is repeated in the closely connected words. Here in the poem, O sound is prominent and repeated in the second line in 3 words: shook, down, and on. Let us see. See, in the second line we have O sound is repeated: shook, down, on, me. So this is called assonance. A vowel sound, A-S-S-O-N-A-N-C-E, assonance. A vowel sound is repeated in closely related words. Okay. Next is alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is a use of same consonant or consonant sound. The use of same consonant or consonant sound at the beginning of closely related words in a line. Here H in the 5th line and S in the 7th line are repeated. And consonants, a consonant sound is repeated at different positions of closely related words in a line. D is repeated in the 8th line in day, hat, and root. Let us see both of these, alliteration and consonants. So you can see here this H sound has repeated it's here actually. H sound has repeated. Okay, so this is the alliteration, 5th line, in the 5th line, and alliteration is here also. Save some part. So that is also alliteration. Save some part, 7th line. So these two are examples of alliteration. In the 5th line, H sound has repeated, has given my heart, and in the 7th line, S sound has repeated. So H and S has repeated twice, save some part. So these are alliteration. Next we have consonants, right? Consonants here in the last line, D sound has repeated 3 times. In day it is there at the beginning of the word, in had it is at the end of the word, and in root it is again at the end of the word. So this is consonants. This is an example of consonants. And has, heart, save some, these are the examples of alliteration. Alright, I hope you understood. Now let us take some questions. All right. So some probable questions. One is the rhyming. Describe the rhyming scheme in the used in the poem. That is one question. Describe the rhyming schemes used in the poem. And another question. Describe the literary devices that we have just discussed. The literary devices used in the poem. Apart from those two questions, there are a few more questions. Like, what is dust of snow? What changes the mood of the poet in the poem Dust of Snow? Justify the role of the crow and the hemlock tree in the poem Dust of Snow. What message is conveyed in the poem? By being optimistic in life, the world becomes a better place to live in. So this is the message actually that the poet wants to give through this poem. See, in a poem there are two types of meaning. One is the literary meaning, word to word meaning, and one is the inner meaning of the poem. That is sometimes called the metaphorical meaning. So that we need to understand. What is the message that the poet tries to give from his poem? That is important. See here, what is the scene of the poem? That we need to understand. Scene of the poem. Here the scene of the poem is basically in the first stanza. The poet tries to make a scene of sadness. He has used two instruments in this poem, crow and hemlock tree. Hemlock tree is a poisonous tree, crow is a dark bird. Both of these are used in the negative sense in literature. See, we need to understand these things, that crow and hemlock tree. Hemlock tree is a poisonous tree, so it is used usually in the negative sense. Crow is another example of negative sense. Crow is a dark colored, it's a black colored bird, so it is usually compared with darkness, with something which is ominous or ominous. O-M-I-N-O-U-S. Ominous means something bad, something inauspicious. In-A-U-S-P-I-C-I-U-S. Inauspicious, which is not auspicious. Auspicious means shubh. Auspicious means shubh, and inauspicious, which is not good, which is bad for the society. So here in this poem, poet tried to make some mood of sadness, some scene of sadness, but then he says that the way a crow shook down on me. Let us see the poem once. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. The way a crow shook down on me means here maybe the crow was there on the hemlock tree, already seated over there, and the moment the poet was passing by that under the hemlock tree, the crow maybe flew up, and because of that the hemlock tree has got a shake and some dust of snow fallen on the poet. So how the crow shook down the dust of snow on the poet, that was not mentioned in the poem. Like the crow was already there seated beforehand, and then as it sees the poet, it tried to flew up, and the snow had fallen. Is that the situation? Or maybe the moment the poet was passing by the hemlock tree, the crow came from somewhere else and just tried to sit on the hemlock tree, and some snow dust fell down on the poet. That is another possibility. So what has happened actually we don't know. It is not mentioned in the poem, but what is mentioned is the crow and the hemlock tree. The combination of this to negative things has made some interesting and positive things in poet's life. What is that? Has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. So poet was regretting for something, and the moment the dust of snow fell down on the poet, he started feeling in a positive way. Something has changed in his heart. So that is the positive. So the message that poet wants to give through this poem is that we should be optimistic all the time. We should find out positiveness out of negative things, that the so-called negative things. See, there is no positive, no negative, no good or no bad things are present in nature. Good or bad things depend on our thinking. So that you need to describe. Those questions, like, let me show you the questions once again. These questions okay, so these questions are basically your homework. You try to write down the answer of these questions, then we will discuss the answer of these questions in the next lecture maybe. The first thing that you need to do is to read the poem, and then whatever new words that I have discussed, take note of that, and then try to write down the answer of these questions. Click photographs and send those answers, post those answers in the group, and then we will discuss. All right, I hope you understood. So see you in the next lecture.